Hey there, you may be wondering, why is this video published with a black background and nothing else? Well, this is because it's one of those videos that I may turn into a series before, stopping after the third video or something. Welcome, it's, what do I call it? Oh yeah, I call it Cygnet's background talk. Basically, it's going to be like one of those ranting, lecturing slash video of me talking of things I always wanted to talk about but never found a place or time to talk of it. Things that I wanted to convey, but I can't just do it in front of a live audience, or things I want to say, but if it's not of the time, you know, y- I'm pretty sure out of everyone out there, anyone out there who's listening, have one of those moments where you have things you want to say, but you just don't know when to say or how to say it. So I'm going to do that in these series of videos. Where was I? Oh yeah. So now, if you are still listening to this intro, feel free to leave me running in the background as you work or play. By the way, this background will remain. This video is going to remain pitch black the entire time, and if there are pictures on it, I will tell you. Don't worry. Um, of course, unless if you just want to stand to this big black darkness, feel free to. I won't judge. Don't worry. Now then. For the first video of a very unsure series, I may well give an update to what's been going on with this desolate channel, why the news have stopped, why the show stopped, and why I haven't been posting anything on YouTube for such a long period of time. If you have been a English, God, I'm so out of my element. I can't even read this shit. I'm right. I even write it down just like in the old news so that I don't stutter. But hey, guess nothing changes, huh? Anyways, if you listeners have been asking for whatever the hell questions that may be involved with the news with this channel, the answers will be provided in this video. Don't you worry about it, alright? Okay, let's for the first video, okay, just because it's the first video, let's give it a bit of a channel out there. Let's start with the news, shall we? Now, the so-called Sickness Weekly. It was my pride and joy, my pleasure, and my hobby as well at one point. If you have been here long enough, which I'm pretty sure if you are still watching, you probably are, you may know how it began as a joke on Korea's server, Korea Chrono. She's a pretty chill and pretty famous VTuber. She's pretty nice, seriously. She's really nice. Check it out. Yeah, but the news began as a joke that neither me nor my friends ever thought will be the start of a long lasting relationship. It's been 2 years now and we're still together. Well, the joke all began during a late night VC chat. I guess around 1, 2, 3 a.m., stuff like that, when people go crazy. Where at one point, out of boredom, I assume, I don't quite remember, I jokingly read news articles online for the hell of it. And out of the blue, I mentioned that, hey, it was fun to do. And by mentioning that, I kind of triggered something in the group, whereas the other decided to convince me that maybe I should do a video out of it. Reading news about stuff online. At the time, tired of online class, distraught at reality, because remember, that was the start of the corona. I just punched my mic, which probably wouldn't make a nice sound on Audacity, but who cares? Oh, where was I? Oh yeah, online class. Oh yeah, because it was Corona just started. People just started getting locked down. The first week or two was haha interesting. I'm home now. But after what, it really really gets to you. And I'm pretty sure quite a lot of people can relate because it really gets to your head. So I was distraught in reality, and I decided, hey, why not? And by being driven by the sheer spirit of shit postings, I grabbed my dusty typewriter. Yes, I did use a typewriter back then and started clacking on the keys, writing a script. It was magnificent. Ching, brrr, all that, beautiful, beautiful sound. Probably disturbed my neighbors trying to sleep, but who cares? I was having fun. Oh god, thinking back, I even put in the effort of rewatching past streams of Korea and some of her VTuber friends because I wanted the news to be interesting. And not only VTuber news at the time, I was even reading news about real life stuff, things I would never have bothered before. Oh god, the work I've done. Anyways, at that time, I had a fire burning in me. A fire that I've never had in me for a long while. And once that script was done, the story didn't stop there. I even went to PowerPoint and started making the greatest slide the world has ever seen, or at least that was how I felt like. Some of the slides I still kept to this day, a year later, over a year later. And I must say, the first episode was something. It was shit. I'll be honest with you, straight to you, it was shit. I used a built-in microphone for it. The audio quality was appalling, but the guys loved it. It was a shit post. Nobody cares of the quality. It was fun. It was chaotic. You know, but I had fun doing it. I felt like I had a purpose when I saw that people loved it. Because it was fun. Seeing people liking the things I made, despite, like I said, I still think it's a hot pile of shit, and that could be better. But it was fun. Now let's speed up the story up a bit. And after like three offline recorded videos, I decided to do a live stream because who knew that recording a news can take such a lot of time to edit? And the news was getting longer and longer. Like, first episode was like, I think, 10 minutes less. And then second episode, 15 minutes. And suddenly you go up to the second episode, it's like 2 hours. And I'm like, yeah, hell no. If it's going to be that long, I may well do it live. And when I decided to do live streaming, Goldun and Red actually volunteered to come and join and like accompany me, so I'm not scared. And at one point they even decided to read the news with me, which was very, very nice of them. And to do that live stream, I ended up learning OBS, learning how to tune my audios, how to set up microphone, things that I never knew I would learn to do, not things that I would ever think I would want to learn to do. But I did. I learned how to do it. And looking back, kind of do want to make me smile a bit. Thinking how much I have actually grown, because back then I knew jack shit about streaming, and then now I still do not know jack shit, but hey, I know how to set up a stream. Back then I didn't know anything. But yeah, the first stream, it was chaos. It was chaos in its purest of form. It wasn't well planned at all. No, no, it definitely wasn't. But what it was fun. The gang was there. Everyone was there. The people from the people I know, the people of the original Chu gang, the cult that was created as a joke from one of Korea's videos was there, and even Suzuka-san, Korea's friend, was there. And like seriously, if I'm saying Korea even came on the first live stream, but you know, uh, I was shocked. I was intrigued by the fact that hey, people came. It may have been a one-time thing, but I was still, hey, someone came for something that I planned on doing, that I planned and I did. And I never knew in my life I'll have people watching what I do. So that was an experience nonetheless. Now, pushing forward with gracious help from the crew, the show generally grew and grew. But it has always been lingering inside me because I've for quite some time have been a pacifist, not a pacifist, a pessimist. I'm definitely not a pacifist. I am chaos in its purest of forms, but I regret saying that because now I sound like an edgy teenager. But yeah, I was pessimistic as hell, and I always knew that deep inside it ain't gonna last. Like nothing lasts in this world, and I knew for a fact that the show was going to end. In fact, when I went on Kurihasa Kutsuba, the show where she introduces new VTubers, I specifically mentioned that my goal was to go out with a bang. Now I want all of you, or the remainders of you guys who are still here, to remember this quote. It's an interesting quote to me, to go out with a bang, and it stuck with a few people for a while. I was teased about it. But yeah, Cygnus Weekly and the family, um, Cygnus Weekly, the family and the people who came to watch gave and taught me many things, things that I never knew I would learn, things I never knew I would have or I would think about. And I had things I look forward to, during the times when all I saw was doom. Because I was one of the more pessimistic. Oh my god, I can't even pronounce that word. I was one of the downers or the doomers during the start of the virus because people were like, "Oh yeah, it'll be over after the first lockdown, or it'll be over in a year." And I'm like, "Nah, it's gonna last more than probably 2 years, 3 years. Who knows?" I was one of those, and well, now it's been going on for 2 years. It really aged like milk left in the sun and not aged enough to turn into cheese. But yeah, um, where was I? Oh yeah, all I see is doom. Yeah, the family gave me people and friends who I can talk to when all my real life friends they went quite well. They too went down with things, and which I actually reconnect with some later because they too were having troubles of their own. But many of them went under the radar and kind of disappeared from not only from me but from the college itself apparently. But we're going off track. Now yeah, I was able to learn and meet many people I never knew I could even talk to. Like massive VTubers. Some I really looked up to. One of my highlights is definitely Kuriha, and then um Furai San, Min. All those like my video, all those amazing people, Valria even. There are so many of them that I can't even list. Nature, I'm trying to pull out as many names as I can, not to upset anyone. But there are so many, and I have such little capacity of remembering things that it is heartbreaking for me not being able to mention those names. But I met so many people who I never knew I could. Like, if never started all of this, perhaps I'll never meet any of them. I'll never even talk to any of them. And I'll probably have missed out a lot of things that I have learned from them. Oh, God. Um, where am I? Oh, yeah. I'm getting sidetracked a lot because as I thought, the memory starts, flooding in. If you're still watching, if you're one of those people who are still staring into this dark void of a background, I hope you're at least using your imagination. Um, Imagine flowers or something like that, something nostalgic. I don't know. Where was I? I should stop running around and getting lost in my own thoughts. Oh god, I'm getting sidetracked again. Anyway, the show I would say reached the pride of its existence around December or so of 2020. But yeah, at that point by December, no, actually by September or November, I can already feel that the show has went past its prime and was going down because one of the reason is that I at least what I say to myself the reason is that I was getting busier. My friends were getting busier. The people who helped me create the shows were getting busier. The people who watches the shows are getting busier. Despite that, we pushed on, and at times I had to call in help. Reed helped me a lot. Keith helped me a lot. They accompanied me because I will say that I always say that I do not want to make the show alone. But there are times where I really don't want to have the show just stop. That I even pushed on alone sometimes. And I remember someone asked me, "Hey, are you not lonely in chat being, streaming alone?" It would be a lie to me to say if I wasn't lonely, but I wasn't going to give up. I did not want to. At least that time I didn't. So I kind of pushed on alone, and at the same time, I don't want to complain about it because it was my idea. Hence, I should be the one to push. I should not be relying on others to push me. But no matter how much I push, when the first season end, the burden just increased even more. Uh, the viewers lessen as well. So, and oh yeah, don't forget the news. When we started the news, the one big rule the rules we had was that we avoid big companies. Newer companies were fine. That's why we once covered my holo, because when we covered it, my holo was just starting out. So we avoided big companies like Hololive, Nijisanji, because Hololive, as you know, at that time they had Kiryu Koko's Asakoko news. So I did not want to interfere with that. And Nijisanji has their own variant, so I did not want to interfere with that. So I don't want to go out from my bounds. I don't want to be someone who people say, haha, you're copying someone, because I'll be honest, I did not. I may have had a bit of inspiration. No, actually, I found out about Asakoko after I started the news, when people pointed out, hey, are you trying to copy Kiriko? And no, honestly, I did not. I didn't. Also, no, no, also. There's no also. Why did I say also? I don't know. I'm going insane. Anyway, yeah, because another rule we made other than no big companies was we want to avoid drama. We don't want to be a channel where it is basically a cesspool, or something like a battlefield where the chat is full of people fighting one another. We don't want that. The world is burning enough, and we just want to have a laugh. That is actually a good world. A good quote, not a good world. Yeah, the world is burning enough. We just want to have a laugh. I like that. Someone put that on a t-shirt or something. I don't know. Um, but yeah, the news, the amount of news where it's clean and drama free is decreasing, and all the news that was left was all the dirty dramas, all the hot sensational dramas, which I really don't want to be a part of. I don't want to be involved in such things. I do not find joy in it. I do not find interest in them. I rather you know I rather not be delving into that cesspool. But yeah, saying the views drop, the lack of content, the increasing burden, it was moral shattering for me. To see a show the show at its prime got 20 to 30 viewers each week, which I was so happy of, because I was like, oh my god, I never knew that this many people would come to such a shit show. And at one point, we had like 50 viewers online while we're live, and we had people here and there, people who, by God, if you see them now, they've grown so big. And after seeing that, and seeing the show on its prime with 30, 40, sometimes 50 viewers like that suddenly drop to like 10 or below, and it didn't feel good. That's how I'm going to put it. It didn't feel good. And that was when I decided to pull the plug, because not only was the work tiring and story decreasing like the views, but the family, the Cygnet Network's family just wasn't there anymore. The show is not the show if I'm alone. I didn't want to do it alone. I really didn't want to. But the show, eh, maybe it was, no, it's not a maybe. It was partly also my fault that the show kind of died off, because, well, I pulled the plug. And despite hoping that the show would end with a bang, all it did at the final stretch of its life was that it was just a tiny fizzle and a puff of smoke that faded in the dark. I thought that people would have forgotten, that people would not remember about it. But lately, I I came into a realization that I should have realized Back then, I realized back then that I was the fool who killed my own show because a few people have expressed grief, for the passing of the show. um some of the friends that I started reconnecting back, because I'm starting to go back into like streaming and whatnot, and just started like, hey, how are you doing, etc., etc., because I feel bad, just leaving and then not saying a word. Because to be fair, to be honest, I did not cut the wire. I did not cut contacts. I just stopped talking to people, I guess. Like, if people talk to me, I'll talk to them back, but I didn't mix active social interactions with people. I kind of avoided that. At one point, I had like inferiority complex. Like, hey, will this person want to talk to me? Especially when I realized how I've been left behind, and they probably would have forgotten about me. But when I found out that some people still remember, and some people even say that that they showed grief, that the show no longer exists, that it left a hole in them. All this time, I thought I was a lonely fool speaking alone, and well, I was partly true. I was a fool, but I was never lonely. I was just someone who thought I was lonely. Um, there were actually attempts of me trying to make a shorter morning show versions of the news because I really want to make something to replace it. But that only lived ever so long. It was at a rather inconvenient time. I think it was 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Malaysian time. No one was awake at that time, so barely anyone appeared. And I'll be honest, the workload was barely any different. It was still a shitload of work, and news was slow. Nothing was interesting, only drama 24/7. And like I said, I do not want to be a part of that cesspool. And, uh, you know, people may call me a fool. Some may call me a fool for not wanting to be involved in such drama and stuff, but I am sure that many more will agree that it was the good call, because I don't want to go down in history as, oh, that one person whose job was only to spread drama. I don't want to be that. As much of a shit ass I am, or how I try to portray myself as a shit ass, it is only like a coping mechanism. I just want to have a laugh or two. Now, now some may wonder, hey, will I be doing a reboot of Cygnus Weekly? And sorry to say to those who are wondering about that, or those who are hoping for a reboot, I can only be the bringer of grief. Such an ideas have come to mind, but the show is past its prime. The work is hard, the joy is low, and all I can do is I'm sorry. I can only apologize for me just not being able to deliver any more news. It's hard for me to say this, but I am sorry. Cygnet's Weekly is no more. Cygnet Networks, the group, quote unquote group that we made, the quote unquote family we made, it is no more. All's left now is just a bunch of friends. We kind of went back a few steps, and perhaps for the best, we remain as friends. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, nonetheless, honestly, I really didn't want to abandon the channel. I can't do it. I could not do it. I'm someone with such a deep emotional and nostalgical bond to the things that I have done, that I I don't want to delete it. Some people, when they stop, they just delete the channel, or they private all the videos. But I don't want that, because I want it to be there, at least as a reminder, if not for anyone else, for me, that I had fun, I had joy, and I I had I had my time where I can say people came and watched. I had my minutes of glory, I would say. I had that. I do not ever want that sign to be gone because if it's not there, I may forget about it. I just want it to serve as a reminder that, hey, you had a fun youth. It's part of youth. Some people remember breaking up with their girlfriend. You will remember that you were once a news anchor online, and there is a helicopter flying on top of my house. No, that is actually a lorry. Never mind. The engine sounded like a helicopter, but good way to break the emotions. But yeah, the channel will stay as is, as a as a reminder for myself. I however did have some plans. I many times I plan and brainstorm for interesting and cool show ideas. One of it was like a game show where the winner wins a single dollar. I think it's I don't remember what I wanted to call it. I had a few names for it. I think like Cygnet's dollar or Scuff dollar or something like that. Where I plan, hey, if it works, maybe I'll increase the price in the future. But never came to fruition. But anyway, the show would have various. Oh, I can't stop burping. Oh God, I don't know why. Maybe I ate something wrong. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm not going to cut anything from this reel. It's just going to be very raw audio from me because one this series, quote unquote series that I might do to be just heart to heart talk or just me rambling on things. But anyways, um, yeah, the show will have like mixtures of mini games here and there, maybe like Wheel of Fortune or Hangman or something like that, and then it'll have like quizzes or trivias for the contestants to answer. I wanted it to be something like, oh, I'll have VTubers compete against each other or my friends compete against each other. I had it planned and it never came to fruition because at the end, every time I think that it was a good idea, I started questioning myself. I started asking the question of, hey, will people like it? Will people want to be a part of it? What if it ends up a flop? Like all the things that I've done before. Those questions just lingers around and haunts me. And further not helping, like says that I kind of went radio silent, and despite not cutting contacts, I just didn't contact anyone who doesn't contact me because I don't know. I was being a fool. I was following my emotions, the very emotion I've many times tried to kill by pretending to be an asshole with no emotions. But alas, I'm just a crybaby, I suppose. But yeah, thanks to that, I'm now back to the start where I'm just socially awkward again, especially when those people who used to be good friends of mine, who I haven't talked to for quite a while, are now so much bigger that I don't think I should contact them because I feel that, hey, if I contact them, maybe you know it'll be awkward. What do I say? I can't just go and tell someone who's 10 times the size when we were friends. I don't know why I'm thinking that it's just me being a fool again. But yeah, I'm just scared. I'm inferior of myself. I'm inferior of. I'm just scared. It is what it is. I am just scared. Uh, so yeah, with such burdens on my shoulder and with no will nor spirit in me to edit videos or even sing, I actually quite like singing, but I kind of forgotten how to sing, and you know, sometimes I do those random singing streams actually because of I just wanted to cope. And it was kind of like a coping mechanism. It's just of me just like rather than I cry, rather than being sad, I may well just sing and laugh and be the fool I am. Which is not a good idea because it's for many reasons, but hey, if it works, it works. Um, but yeah, when because I no longer have the spirit to edit videos, sing, or even talk, I end up leaving YouTube the way it is and hoping to find my way on Twitch, where Well, actually now I started, streaming games whenever I want, however I want, and the numbers really didn't bother me because I don't care. I'm doing things that I'm happy with. I'm free. I don't have to plan. If I feel like streaming, I just launch a game, start a OBS, press stream, start stream, and that's it. I don't have to schedule anything. I don't have to plan for a show because Cygnet's the Cygnet Works channel on this current channel was meant to be like a special channel for shows, podcasts, music, those kind of thing, or like when I'm gathered up with other Cygnet Works members, but yeah, it is what it is. So now I'm on Twitch. Yay! I still have this habit of downloading my Twitch VODs just in case one day I decide to edit them into short, quote unquote, funny videos. But alas, here I am making this video essay like a fool. But hey, if you are still here after this long ass rant, thank you, man. Thank you. Maybe if I'm not such a lazy ass, next week or whenever, I'll post another similar videos but with a different topic. Hey, if you want to suggest a topic, because you may still be here listening or just staring into the void, thinking of your own future doom and demise, feel free to put in suggestions in the comments or something. I am going to make next week's not the next week, the next time video maybe about, I don't know, history or an interesting event or something educational, or maybe just something that I just felt like talking about. I don't know. And I'll make some of these videos from time to time. It's fun actually to do this. It helps me vent. But anyways, thank you and goodbye.